When two armies collide, the first casualty is always truth. In 260 BC, the Zhao court believed they held perfect intelligence. Their maps detailed every Qin position, their spies counted every enemy campfire. Yet this very certainty became the poison that doomed 400,000 souls. The art of strategic deception reached its zenith when Qin General Bai Qi engineered the ultimate illusion. He let Zhao spies see exactly what they wanted to see. While Zhao General Zhao Kuo studied flawless battle plans inherited from his legendary father, the real war was already being lost in the gap between perception and reality. This is the eternal dilemma Sun Tzu captured in his starkest warning. All warfare is based on deception. The greater your intelligence apparatus, the more vulnerable you become to strategic mirrors that reflect your own assumptions back at you. Zhan Luimi Wu, he inherited not just a military title, but the very lattice of thought that had made his father legendary. Zhao Kuo lived inside a cathedral of military theory where every pillar was perfectly placed, and that perfection became his prison. While his father, Zhao Shi, had treated battle plans as living poetry to be improvised in the moment, the son saw them as sacred scripture. When Qin forces feigned retreat at Changping, Zhao Kuo didn't see a trap. He saw chapter 7, verse 3 of the classic texts unfolding according to prophecy. This was the curse of cognitive inheritance. The smarter the heir, the more perfectly they replicate inherited patterns, and the more blindly they march into disasters that demand new thinking. Sun Tzu's warning glowed with tragic irony. Do not repeat the tactics that gained you one victory, but let your methods be shaped by the infinite variety of circumstances. The son who memorized every word of his father's victories ultimately failed by following them too well. The greatest theories become weapons against their users when reality changes but thinking doesn't. A lesson echoing from ancient battlefields to modern boardrooms where yesterday's success breeds tomorrow's collapse. While Zhao Kuo saw a collapsing enemy, Bai Qi was building a cathedral of mirrors, each reflecting a reality tailored to his opponent's deepest convictions. The Qin commander's genius lay not in hiding the truth, but in weaponizing his enemy's intellectual air sacs along escape routes. He was quoting from the very texts Zhao Kuo had memorized since childhood. This was cognitive warfare at its most sublime, making the enemy's knowledge become the rope that hangs him. The ultimate trap was never in the terrain, but in the synaptic pathways of a commander who trusted theory more than reality. As Sun Tzu chillingly observed, the skilled commander shapes the enemy's perceptions until victory becomes self-inflicted. The massacre at Changping wasn't just a military defeat. It was the terrifying climax when perfected knowledge met adaptive genius and discovered that reality always rewrites the textbooks. When the last cry faded at Changping, China's intellectual DNA underwent a violent mutation. The massacre of 400,000 became a cultural trauma so profound that it triggered civilization's immune response, an institutional aversion to theoretical purity that would shape 2 millennia of statecraft. In the war's aftermath, the legalist philosophy that had birthed Qin's war machine was systematically hybridized with Confucian caution. The Han Dynasty instituted scholar generals who must master both sword and brush. The Ming created checks and balances where military plans required civilian approval. This was the birth of China's anti-fragile governance, deliberately embedding cognitive diversity to prevent any single doctrine from again unleashing catastrophe. The ultimate paradox emerged. By memorializing their worst military disaster, Chinese civilization transformed it into a protective genome, as Sun Tzu's warning was carved into the collective psyche. The general who remembers defeat is destined for victory. The true legacy of Changping wasn't in tactics refined, but in the institutional humility forged through blood, the eternal vigilance against the seduction of perfect theories in an imperfect world. The cognitive mirrors that doomed Zhao Kuo now haunt every modern decision-maker. When your newsfeed curates reality, when algorithms shape strategic choices, when data creates illusions of certainty, you are entering Bai Qi's Hall of Mirrors built with silicon instead of bronze. But ancient China's blood-soaked lesson offers an escape route. the 3 breaches method forged from Changping's ashes. Breach your filters, like Han scouts who verified rumors by tasting enemy campfire ashes. Breach your theories, like later generals who mixed cavalry tactics with naval strategies. Breach your identity, like merchants turned commanders who saw battles as supply chain problems. This is the ultimate reversal. The very disaster that stemmed from rigid thinking became the birthplace of China's adaptive Tao, the art of thriving in ambiguity. As a Song Dynasty philosopher decoded Sun Tzu, victory goes not to the strongest army but to the most liquid mind. The ghosts of Changping whisper to our AI-driven age. The more perfect the information, the more you must cultivate the courage to doubt it, for the greatest trap is the one built from your own certitude. The blood of Changping crystallized into a cosmic truth. Civilization survives not by avoiding storms, but by learning to sail in hurricane winds. The eternal laws of strategic resilience that emerged from this catastrophe now glow across millennia. First law: cognitive biodiversity. Just as ecosystems resist collapse through genetic variety, human systems need contradictory thinking. Han Dynasty's Scholar General mandate forcing military commanders to study poetry was humanity's first institutionalized anti-dogmatism vaccine. Second law: productive distrust. The Qin scouts who verified enemy campfire ashes by taste pioneered what we now call falsification testing. Today, this manifests as blockchain's trustless verification and science's peer review, all descendants of that ancient wariness. Lesson whispers through time. The greatest strategy is building civilizations where children inherit not answers, but the tools to question, where libraries store not truths, but the methods to refine.